Hallo zusammen! Hast du gedacht, Deutsch sei schwer und kompliziert? Keine Sorgen, ich dachte das auch, aber es ist viel einfacher, als du denkst. Heute zeige ich dir die besten Ressourcen, mit denen ich die Sprache gelernt habe. Also bleib dran und lass uns zusammen Deutsch meistern. Hi, this is Anastasia, an aspiring polyglot who speaks 5 languages and who is dreaming about speaking at least 5 more. Today I'm going to share my best resources to learn German. But before we start, let me share my personal story with this language a little bit. As someone from Ukraine, I used to be a little bit biased about German. I thought it sounded harsh, aggressive even, and I thought it was incredibly complicated. I had no real desire to learn this language. But when I went to university, German was my second foreign language there, and I had to learn it. And actually, I did the bare minimum just to pass my tests. However, everything changed on my 4th year of university when I decided to take part in the work and travel program. While I initially aimed for the USA, it was too expensive for me, and I found a more affordable option, which was Germany. But there was a catch. I had to learn German for that. So I started working with a tutor on my German, and guess what? I discovered that German isn't that bad after all. It's incredibly logical, and its grammar is structured in the way that makes a lot of sense. Moreover, it sounds really beautifully, depending on who speaks, of course, which is true for any language, but I just fell in love with how the language sounds. So during my 3 months in Germany, I realized how much more I had to learn in order to communicate with people in German, but that was good. That immersion helped my skills a lot, and I'm really grateful for that experience. If you're interested in hearing more about my adventure of taking this work and travel program in Germany, let me know in the comments below. I would be happy to make a video about it. But after I returned from Germany, I had to switch back to English because I was planning another travel to another country where English was more important, and I just stopped learning German and forgot a lot. Last year, I spent another 4 months in Germany, and I recollected a lot of what I learned previously. I started learning it again, and now, although I'm not planning to spend such a long time in Germany or in another German-speaking country anytime soon, I really want to travel to countries like Austria, Belgium, Germany, Switzerland, and I would love to practice my German there. And I don't want to lose these skills because I like the language. I want to maintain my skills. That's why I'm learning it right now, not actively, but still I'm trying to do as much as I can. But enough about me, let's talk resources. If you are serious about learning German, you will need structure. Here are my go-to resources that helped me along the way. First up is DW or Deutsche Welle, DW. This is an amazing website, and I'm following a particular course on here which is called Nico's Weg. This is very popular, and if you are into this topic, you've probably heard about this course. This is such a gem, and it's free. It's a complete course based on a story about a young man, Nico, who moved from Spain to Germany. The cool thing about it is that the story is broken into short episodes, followed by a complete lesson based on the grammar and vocabulary used in that particular episode. It's like watching a movie while learning, which makes it both fun and educational. I love how structured it is. Everything's based on what you've learned, and it's all presented in a very engaging and nice way that you will definitely love. So this is like my main resource that gives me structure and a step-by-step plan, like which grammar, which vocabulary topics I should focus on one by one. Next, I supplement it with a grammar textbook. It doesn't really matter which grammar textbook you choose. I'm using grammar drills, German grammar drills by Edswig, which is great, but you might as well use another textbook. We just need something to have grammar drills, practice grammar, because grammar in German language is very important. It's something you cannot ignore in any way, because without grammar, you will not come too far. Although it may sound complicated and boring, once you make an effort to understand the logic behind this grammar, it becomes much easier. And yes, unfortunately, we cannot avoid this phase where we have to do a lot of grammar drills in order to fixate that in our head, how this works and so on. I have this textbook in a PDF format and I have the keys to it, so I just do the drills and I check myself with the keys and that's it. But you might as well use some websites with grammar drills. Honestly, I believe that grammar is the key to mastering German, because once you understand that, everything else becomes so much easier. So these are two basic resources. I know how tempting it might be to find a million resources and try them all, but trust me, sometimes less is more. I recommend sticking to one or two solid resources and focusing on them. For me, Nico's Swag and Grammar Drills has given me enough structure and depth. Once you complete something, you can move to the next resource. Otherwise, you'll just get too overwhelmed. But of course, I didn't create this video just about two resources. I have something else I'm doing, and right now I'm going to share my favorite part of learning the language, which is using something I'm obsessed with, which is YouTube. I am a huge fan of YouTube and I'm using it in so many areas. So of course I'm using it to learn German as well. And here are my favorite YouTube channels for German. The first one is quite famous. You've probably heard about it. It's Easy German. They do street interviews with everyday people and you get to hear real, authentic German. Plus, they have videos for different levels and you also get to listen to various accents, which is great. I also love their Easy German podcast, which is great for practicing your listening skills too. Number 2 is Coffee Break German podcast. This one is perfect if you're looking for short, digestible videos. It is both in English and German and it's usually not long, like 10 to 20 minutes long. I love listening to it when I do grocery shopping, and it's a great way to practice your language skills while doing some other everyday tasks too. And the next two channels are for those who are a little bit more advanced and who likes documentaries, because these two channels are super great for documentaries in German. They have so many videos for different topics. You can definitely find something you would enjoy to watch. But yeah, this is again a little bit more advanced, not very suitable for a beginner, I guess. And sometimes YouTube algorithm surprises me by recommending some German-speaking creators who make videos about things I'm passionate about, like languages, fitness, self-development, and so on, in German. So I always save them to watch later, and therefore I always have a choice of some German videos to watch too when I'm in the mood for that. And the next thing I want to recommend is use your social media to learn languages or German. Yeah. I know that you spent a lot of time on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube Shorts somewhere. If you do that, please try to set your algorithm in the way that it shows you German content, like some unpacking videos, cooking videos, whatever it is you're interested in, but you will watch it in German, and even though you probably won't understand everything, still must be kind of exciting for you to watch because you like this kind of content, and you probably can guess a lot of vocabulary from the context because you know a lot about this kind of content. So that's what I do. I follow German speaking creators on my social media, and this way I get a little bit of exposure on a daily basis. And finally, let's talk about speaking practice. I always recommend Tandem app, where you can find people to practice your target language with. So it's kind of language exchange. You practice your native language with someone who is native in German. This way you get to practice the language, but of course it might be challenging to find a partner whose schedule works for you, who's serious about that. I was lucky to find some people like that. I'm sure you can do that too, but some people are just not very serious. They are just there to have some fun. So just be ready for that. I've also tried ChatGPT voice model recently, and I've been using it for a while now, and I must say it's not that bad. Like anytime you can turn it on and have a short conversation in German, especially if you just learned something from Nico's Swag, for example. Try to discuss this topic with ChatGPT and ask for some feedback. It's also a great way to do it. Whenever you can, don't miss the opportunity to practice with a native speaker. This is my favorite thing to do. But yeah, if you can't, try ChatGPT too. So, to sum up, I use two main resources, Nico's Swag and grammar drills by Edsweek to keep my learning structured and focused. I supplement it with YouTube channels, podcasts, and real-life German content like social media and books. And of course, I try to practice speaking as much as I can. This approach keeps me motivated without overwhelming me. What about you? What are your favorite resources for learning German? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed it for more videos like this. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss!